Good morning, it's Cassie from Fade In Fade Out LLC in Dalton, Wisconsin, and it is time for a morning tarot reading straight from the shop. I'm getting started here today with the Mystical Shaman Oracle. Ooh, I had a really cool one pop up. This is exciting. It says the Tree of Life. That is very cool. I'm excited to read that one. All right, and then I will move ahead here into the tarot spread. And then, if needed, at the end, I will be pulling a spirit animal oracle card to help solidify and bring together the message. If you haven't watched these before, these readings are for myself, but as a part of my journey, when I feel it's relevant, I do share these messages as well, because we can always learn and grow from each other. So here we go. Once again, only messages for the highest good are welcome in this kind of space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ooh. What do I most need to hear today for the highest good? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yep, okay. Okay. Interesting. This is sort of the same kind of thing that happened yesterday. I see. All right. I don't know. I had an interesting one yesterday too. This is very interesting. All right. All right. Sorry, I'm just trying to get a vibe here. The first card that popped out is the Two of Cups, which is really cool. The Two of Cups, this is connectedness. This is feeling connected to something other than yourself. This is a full embodied love connection. Now, this connection does not necessarily have to be romantic, but it certainly can be. This connection requires two energetic entities coming together and creating something new out of sharing their energies, right? So this is you and someone or something else. This is your energy joining with another energy and creating a beautiful growing connection. Now, this is a beginning step. This is a beginning step. You need to be in touch with yourself first and foremost to be able to come to this point. You need to be able to feel fully embodied as yourself to come to this connection fully. Otherwise, this connection becomes draining, right? So the Two of Cups is a beautiful new opportunity to learn what sharing and giving is truly all about in terms of emotions, in terms of spirituality. There's a lot of growth that can come here when two energies come together to create something new, and that's what's happening here. There's something new coming from two energies joining together with the same feelings about it, or the same vibration about it. Now, in the next row, we have the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. Someone here has been feeling very anxious, concerned, and worried, and keeping themselves stuck. And I feel this is a different energy here, very slowly approaching a situation with open giving, wanting to give, and somebody else has been feeling stuck, right? I feel these are two different energies. Now, this person who's very slowly approaching and ready to give is probably part of this connection that's showing up here. This other person has been feeling stuck. Now, this is self-imposed. This type of energy does not belong in a symbiotic relationship. This type of energy becomes exhausting, not just for the self, but for others around. And so the other message that comes through with these two cards is that there's a choice here in terms of the Two of Cups. There's there are opposing but also magnetically attracted forces here, and it could also be within the self. On the one hand, you want to approach a situation openly, to openly give, but at the same time, you're feeling stuck and you don't know how to give. That's the other message that's coming through. The next row here, we have the Eight of Cups in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. There's a lot coming through here about receiving and giving. And it's connected in a sense to the material world, but it's emotional, it's spiritual, it's whatever fulfills, it's what fulfills you. Being able to openly give and receive that fulfilling feeling instead of feeling stuck and afraid to do so. So here's the Eight of Cups. This is where we let go of this Eight of Swords, and we finally leave behind these emotions, these feelings that no longer serve us. You know, we've set up these cups in a particular way. We've created this little place that felt like emotional security, right? And this is probably an internal thing. It can be an external thing. This can be a relationship with a job, a person, someone else. This can be what you've built with someone else. Now, because this is in reverse, this is showing that you acknowledge that this energy, this feeling stuck energy, like you can't give because you feel stuck because of these emotions, that right now here is coming to an end. And then here is a look at what we do have to give. We're looking at what we do have to give and how can we receive. It's all about giving and receiving in terms of relationships, in terms of energetic connections. What can you give and what can you receive? So here, the Seven of Pentacles, this is you analyzing this situation, maybe more from a detached perspective instead of feeling completely bound to this, because you've walked away from it now and you've acknowledged that you don't need to hang on so tightly to it. So now you're looking at it at a more detached perspective, and you're like, okay, what is here? What can I do to allow this to grow? What can I give to this so that it will grow? What do I want from this? How do I want to grow from this? This is in the center of the spread, so this is very important. It's also right underneath the Two of Cups. How do you want your connectedness to grow? What can you give? And what do you want from it? You need to be very in tune with that. How can you give, and what do you want from it? Now, we're not talking about giving with the expectation of receiving. We're talking about creating boundaries that don't keep us feeling stuck, but instead protect our energy. instead of binding ourselves or not having enough boundaries where we feel that we need to do this to ourselves, we are now taking a little bit more of an emotionally detached perspective, and we're looking at it from a material perspective in terms of energy. And we're like, how much energy have we put in? What do we want? What is our goal for this? What is the potential outcome here? What do we want from this? But what can we give to this? What are we giving to this? How does this serve the greater purpose, the greater connectedness here? How does this serve the greater connectedness here? How does our energy and the way that we spend it both provide us with love and life, and provide others with love and life? This message is coming through again. I've received this many times before. Is what you're doing giving you life? Or are you giving your life away to it? And that is what this connectedness piece is all about. Is what you're doing giving you life, or are you giving your life away to it? This is what it looks like when we're giving our life away to it. And this is what it looks like when it's equal and when it's balanced. So the next card here is the King of Pentacles. And I think that there is energy here that really wants to give, that really is very supportive and very giving. The King of Pentacles represents that energy through which giving can occur. This king has mastered all the lessons of handling and managing time, energy, and resources effectively. Now, he's not necessarily very emotional about this. He's very logical and very grounded about this. That doesn't mean necessarily that he doesn't have a heart, because he's created this kingdom out of love. But the way that he loves is through providing and through giving and creating an environment through which his kingdom can flourish. That's how he expresses his love. And so this energy is showing up here because I think it's twofold. I think you have a potential to come across somebody like this in your life who acts like this. And also, this is an energy that we all possess and that we should all be able to tap into at a certain point. With the two, we've got the Knight of Pentacles here. We've got this slow approaching openness, ready to give type of energy. And then we've got this matured energy, like knows how to give, but also he doesn't put up with any crap either. That's really important. The boundaries is coming through here. When we don't set up proper boundaries and proper foundations to build a kingdom upon, we end up feeling like this, all alone, stuck, unable to move, and that type of structure doesn't serve us. This is the type of structure that we're striving for. We are becoming very in tune with how we're spending our time, energy, and resources, and we are focusing on not just on we're not just focusing on like the material wealth aspect. We're focusing on the highest good of all. We're focusing on that structure and support, that safety, security, and stability. We are offering that. But in order to be able to offer that feeling, we need to be able to freely give it as well. And that's why the Two of Cups is here, because there's a challenge coming through here in terms of learning how to have this type of energetic connection through which you can feel safe, secure, and stable in yourself and have a symbiotic relationship at the same time, or relationships. It's about freely giving and freely providing. And when you do that, when you are giving from a place of non-attachment and from a place of wholeness, you don't expect anything. And that's why the King of Pentacles is so wealthy, because he just comes from a place of wholeness. He's able to give freely because he is whole in himself, and he knows how to set up the proper structures and boundaries so that his kingdom and his heart is protected. But his heart is his kingdom. He's interconnected with his environment. And that's a very important energy here in this spread, because we can have a heart and want to put our heart into something. But if we're focusing fully on the emotional part of this, we're not focusing on the energetic exchange. We're not focusing on our mental energy. And we're not focusing on how we're pursuing things or how we're behaving. We aren't in tune with how we can actually build a kingdom or become a part of a kingdom, either to support the king. And in this sense, I think the king represents that fullness. The king represents safety, security, and stability, the epitome of that, the full embodiment of safety, security, and stability, the full embodiment of giving and receiving love, and the full embodiment of stepping away from a place of fear and lack, and instead becoming very in tune with how we manage our time, energy, and resources, and how we give and receive those resources. Okay. The next row here had a lot pop out. We have the Queen of Cups, the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, the Tower in reverse, and the Chariot in reverse. I think most of all, there needs to be an understanding that there's not necessarily a need here to pursue anything. That's why the Chariot is in reverse. You don't need to chase after this. You don't need to feel like you have to move or to pursue. You can just be as you are. You can be in the present moment, and you can find an energetic exchange in just being as you are and focusing on how you're managing your time, energy, and resources, and not worrying about trying to get to the next step, but instead just being stable, safe, secure, and solid in the present moment, and learning how to give and receive freely. The Chariot represents a lot of steadfast energy, a lot of strong movement, forward momentum, and that kind of thing. And that's in reverse because that's not needed here. What is needed is slow and steady. What's needed here is a very balanced approach. And also the Tower is in reverse because when we chase after things and we don't set up the proper boundaries, when we don't check all the boxes, when we don't fully we don't need to analyze, but when we don't fully observe the situation from a detached perspective, we end up feeling like we need to run, right? We feel like we need to run, we need to go, we need to do things, and that can be a healthy energy sometimes. But the way this is showing up here, that is not what is needed, because that's very destructive when we chase after things and try to pursue things and make them happen, when in fact, if we just step back, we take our energy and we just focus our energy in a way that is healthy and supportive for ourselves and for our community, for our family, when we are very in tune with how we handle our time, energy, and resources, and how we handle our mental energy, when we take a detached perspective and we feel freedom in being present in this experience, in this energetic exchange that's showing up here with the Two of Cups. This energetic exchange has so much to offer right now in the present moment. And here it all is. The Queen of Cups, the Lovers, the Ace of Cups, and the Emperor. Now, the Emperor and the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, this represents that solid foundation. When we are building an empire as a human race, solid foundation is key. Now, if we are trying to build a connectedness from a place of fear, from a place of lack, from a place that we are missing something, we can't fully provide. We can't fully be in our power. And then we end up chasing after things because we feel that we need them, because we feel that we're lacking something. And then we end up in this place where destructive energy can happen. These are both in reverse, indicating that this is not the case. This is not the case. These are both in reverse because you know that you don't need to chase what's right for you. And that's the Emperor energy. The Emperor energy is being solid in your footing, finding a safe and secure, stable, solid footing through which you can express yourself energetically. The Ace of Cups is here because you are full and abundant right now. There's nothing that you're missing. You have everything that you need at any given moment. If you come from a place of wholeness, of true self, of full love and soul, you can't ever run out of that. You can always have that. It's always available for you at any time. It's always, and it's being offered to you right now in open heart and an open soul, showing up to a energetic connection with fullness instead of a feeling of lack or needing to chase. You know, when we chase after this Ace of Cups, when we pursue it so heavily because we feel that we can't live without it, that's when this becomes tapped out. This is full. This is a huge opportunity for you to be to carefully approach and build an energetic connection. The Queen of Cups here has sailed the oceans of emotions time and time again. She knows how to navigate that ocean. This is you. This is you. You know how to navigate that ocean. You don't need to feel afraid of the waves that come. You don't need to feel afraid of the storm because you have this beautiful trophy here. This trophy shows your maturity and your ability to handle any emotions and waves that come your way. You can handle the emotions and waves that come your way, but you can also step away from the emotions and become solid, safe, and secure. And finally, we have the Lovers, which doesn't surprise me. We have the Two of Cups here. We have, how we've handled, I think, these types of connections in the past is coming through here. And there's an opportunity for you to change that cycle right now. The Lovers, again, represents that connectedness piece. There's a peak here through which they both come together. And when both of these energies in this connection come together to create a new energy, if they're both coming from a place of wholeness and oneness and feeling safe, secure, and stable, they can build an empire. This can be you and, a partner. This can be you and a group. It can be you and your higher self. In any case, you are supported. You're supported by your divine guidance system. You're supported by your higher self. You're supported by your environment. It's all a matter of perspective and how you manage your time, energy, and resources, and how you manage your feelings of safety, security, and stability. All right, we're going to read the Tree of Life and see what it has to say. 58. The tree of life is a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious, while its branches reach to the heavens, the source to destiny. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. That's interesting that that's coming through. A tall tree with shallow roots falls in the first wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm. That's also very interesting. The medicine. What nutrients do you need to add to your soil to grow strong? That's about the time, energy, and resources. The seed of the oak will not grow on barren ground or without the light of the sun. What dreams do you want to awaken to create a mindful destiny? Reflect on how you want to blossom. Yes, that's what that Seven Pentacles is about. The kind of fruit you want to produce, where you want to sow your new seeds. Be a conscious creator. Absolutely. What do you want from this? And what can you give to this? What can you do to make this grow? You don't have to feel like you don't have it. You have it. It's available for you. You simply need to tap into the knowledge and the wisdom available to you. So this is with this card showing up, this is very much about your spiritual journey and your spiritual connectedness here too. The invitation to find health and balance in your life. Reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, connect more with your roots in your physical body. If you are caught in a mechanical doing and you are feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens. Let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longings. Wow. Wow. That's incredible. I love that the tree of life, the time, energy, and resources totally 100% correlates to that material energy that comes from the roots. That's the base. The roots of the tree soak up the nutrients from the soil. The nutrients of the soil represents our time, energy, and resources. How we feed ourselves. How are we feeding ourselves both, and how are we also cycling that energy throughout our physical body, our energetic body? You know, if we aren't grounded, we're not getting enough nutrients to feed our soul. And if we are too much, you know, up here in our heads and in the clouds, we're not pulling up enough energy from the roots to fully bloom and blossom, you know, in our canopy. So visualizing ourselves as a tree, I think, is really significant here. How are you feeding yourself? View yourself as a plant. How are you feeding yourself, and how are you cycling that energy throughout yourself and outside of yourself? Because the way that you handle yourself thereby affects the entire energetic grid through which you operate. So if you are managing your energetic flowing in a balanced manner, thereby you can more easily adapt to the external circumstances around you, so you can nurture the relationships around you as well. This is a really cool reading. This is very significant for me. I'm hoping I might actually just share this one because there's a lot coming through here. You know, these connections that are showing up here, it's not just in the physical realm. They're all interconnected. Our connections with other people are also our relationships with ourselves and our divine guidance system. How we treat the people and the places and things in our life is directly related to how we're treating ourselves and our connectedness to all that is. So if we're walking around through life in this type of energy where we're feeling trapped and we're feeling stuck and we're feeling the need to be saved, we're out of touch with this connectedness that's available for us at any time. We are always connected to this if we so choose to find that connection. But it's a choice, and it's a conscious choice. And then once we find that connection, that unseen connection, that divine connection, there's also still a need to be grounded in the material world so that our divine inspiration can flow through us and nurture both ourselves and the environment around us, like a tree, soaking up carbon dioxide and emanating oxygen. If we are spiritually developing and spiritually fulfilled and emotionally developed and emotionally fulfilled, this is all individual work. It's individual work to get to a place where you feel full and embodied and able to breathe. If you feel suffocated, you're not serving your true purpose in life. You're feeling stuck, unable to grow. You're not able to breathe. And through breath, the breath is the life force in a sense. When we can fully be ourselves and feel full in ourselves as a being, we extend that far beyond ourselves in terms of vibration. So this finding connectedness within the self and really paying attention to how you're feeding and nurturing those energetic connections, and also using what you're getting from those connections and paying it forward. That's why the King of Pentacles is here. It's not just about what you have, but also being able to share that with others, to build an empire. And this empire that you can build is filled with love and connectedness and equality and oneness. This is so cool. All right. I am going to leave it at that. That was very cool. I hope you got something out of that. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye, guys.